All right, we are going on with the social studies low grade tests or the low level tests to see what ones would be possible for a 6 year old or maybe even a year later, 7 year old to actually make an attempt to get in the near future. So let's take a look at the World Heritage Level 4, see how that goes. So it is all multiple choice, 50 questions in 50 minutes. That the whole like one question per minute, I think it can be quite stressful. So that is kind of tough, but out of 100 points, I only need 60, so 60% pass, lower than most tests. However, um, I know that I personally am not very well versed in World Heritage, like what points are considered a World Heritage and why and all that stuff. Let's take a look. I mean, I'm sure if I studied the material enough, I would be fine. But could my son do that as well? Not sure. Let's take a look. But apparently, kids can take this test and can pass. I saw online someone saying that the level 4 was actually one of the easier tests for kids to pass, but this site would actually have you believe otherwise in their data. So I don't know. Let's take a look at the sample questions. And I'm going to assume that they have the readings of the kanji on the actual test, because if not, it would be quite difficult. Okay, so Mount Fuji became a recognized World Heritage, and here it says it's like both spiritual and artistic, basically, in 2013. What kind of heritage was it? Did it become? Was it cultural, natural, uh, mountainy, or traditional? And I think there are only a limited amount of heritage types. I'm not exactly sure about that, but I would assume that it's either cultural or natural. And since it's a mountain, I would say natural. But they did put this stuff in here about the spiritual stuff and whatever. I don't know. I'm still going to say natural. Let's look at the answer. I was incorrect. It's a cultural. So Mount Fuji is a cultural World Heritage, apparently. All right. So not off to a good start. Let's see, what do we have next? So basically, they're asking which battles destroyed a bunch of cultural assets in Kyoto back in the day, way back, way back. A lot of temples were burned. So they want to know what particular set of battles or war that this was. The Boshin War, number 4 here. This is a famous one, but I do not believe that's it. So it's either the Heiji, the Genko, or the Onin. And I think I've heard of this. I believe it was the Onin that where the temple burnings were quite prominent. I don't believe it was the only time temples were burned during the war. I know Oda Nobunaga was not a big fan of this Buddhist temples, so let's see what the answer was here. And I'm a little rusty on the history as well, so this would be tough for me. I don't think my son would get these without studying beforehand. And the answer was 3, so we were right here, but that is tough. And just I'm already gonna say this: translating the stuff on the spot is very hard, very hard. So I'm kind of omitting a lot here because I don't even know how you would translate some of these words anyway. So which um which of the three, from what can we assume uh he's the World Heritage they're talking about from the next three statements? And this is the lowest um what do you call this? the lowest uh, latitude, I think. No, this one's latitude. Um, and the water freezing sea ice area. What? I guess during certain seasons, the sea water even freezes, and it's a very low latitude place. Um, there is an ecological food chain going from the sea to the mountains as a single ecology, as and it is about the same latitude as Florence, Italy. So then we got a bunch of like islands and stuff here. Um, I think it's one of the top ones, I guess, but I really don't know for sure. I would say Shiretoko, um, or is it Toko? I don't know actually. Shiretoko, I think. Uh, no, I don't think it's this one. So I don't know. Again, I am 90% clueless, but but geography wise, I'm pretty sure this was somewhere in that area. I don't know. Let's take a look. Okay, it's Shiretoko, but again, I'm very low confidence in even in the answers that were right, like this one up here. And this first one, it was probably the easiest question so far, and I got it wrong. Or I got it wrong. So, what can we tell about Himeji? Which of the following is incorrect? And when it was uh, uh, re rejuvenate. Oh, that's not the word. Um, okay, let's just say that uh, these are all pretty much about being uh, renewed or rebuilt or fixed or whatever the Himeji Castle. So I think I'd want to think about this a bit more, but uh, but so uh, man, these are already pretty tough. You got to know a lot about these historical sites to know what's actually going on here. Um, so I guess the what would you call this? The validity of the castle put into question would make the most sense as an incorrect statement. Yes, that's right, but again, that's very low confidence. And this Byakushin Sanchi, what type of um, endangered species do we find there? So this woodpecker thingy, these monkeys, these iguanas. Iguanas, are they even endangered species? I'm not actually sure. So see, I don't even know if iguanas are endangered species or not. Or these sable antelope. Um, I mean, it's in the mountain area, so and I don't think iguanas are endangered. At least I don't hear about them endangered. I mean, this guy over here, I see him the least in the just anywhere. So I'm gonna say it's number one, the Kumagera, and it is number one. But again, I have no idea who this guy is. Was my answer. Okay, so the Byakushin Sanchi. Oh, it's not that. It has It's similar to that. There is in Venezuela, Bolivar Republic, the Canaima National Park. In there is a tabletop um, sort of land. And what is this called? This here, I guess. So it's this Desk Mountain. That sounds like it's in Legend of Zelda. If we got rid of the K part there. Death Mountain, right? So, is it Chair Mountain, Chest Mountain, or Table Mountain? Okay, given the question here, this would probably be table. It could be desk, but I'm gonna say table because this is table, like table tennis table, right? So table four. Okay, this one, just from the question, I kind of knew. I wasn't like familiar with the actual thing. So in the Republic of France, there is Mont Saint Michel, and um, some people that I'm not really familiar with, and they had the cathedral when they put it up. Who is this angel? This, I guess, this is an angel here. So, is it Jesus Christ? I don't think he even counts as an angel. Is it Saint Michael? Uh, maybe. Is it the Mother Maria or Saint Jacob? Um, I I think the only angel here is Mikhail. So I'm going to go with number two, and that was just my knowledge of supernatural rather than knowing French artists. So at this point, we have how many questions we've done? We've done several questions. How many do we have left? That's actually a lot of questions. I don't know if we're going to do them all here, but um, I'm just saying, like, I'm having problems even reading these questions. Like, it's not about reading the kanji. It's about reading like what is going on. I don't know the history of most of these places. They're probably very famous, and I'm just ignorant, which is very possible. But that does kind of play into the question of can a 6-year-old or 7-year-old pass these, and like if you just jump straight into these. I guess it really depends on the variety of questions that they can ask. If it's like, okay, we have like 60 possible questions, and this is, then here they all are, then no problem. We can study for that, especially if they're multiple choice. Easy, right? But I don't think that's the case. So, um, Italy, the Florence historical area, 17th century. What artistic movement took place? 17th century. I guess. I mean, this is the only one that I really know of here. The Renaissance, the Renaissance. The other ones, I've never even heard of. So, number four. Okay, that's good, kind of. I don't know if the others are actually artistic movements. I would assume they are, but the first one sounds like a. It looks more like a German word or something. The second one doesn't look very French either. Um, Third one maybe, but Renaissance, I guess, pretty famous 17th century. That adds up, so that makes sense. Um, what heritage is in the Republic of Argentina? Is it Sagalmata National Park? Is it Galapagos Islands? Is it Los Glaciares National Park? Or is it Nazca and Fumana land images? What do you call those? The images above the ground. Um, I don't know. So I don't think that the Galapagos Islands are there, are they? Oh man, I'm showing my ignorance in mini fields here. This is going to be a very embarrassing video. It's definitely not Nazca. I'm quite certain of that. Uh, so it's probably one of these national parks here. Argentine. This one sounds more like it would be like a French-ish national park. I don't know. Uh, Sagar de Mata. I'm not actually sure where that. So once again, I have very little knowledge of national parks. I apologize. Uh, but that's kind of the point of this of what we're checking here. So um, either one or three dice. I mean, something with loss in it sounds like, be somewhere in like Chile or Argentina or Brazil. So, okay, three, good. We're just sort of like guessing from how the questions are asked and getting some of these. So, what goes in the blank space here? World Heritage, Cultural Heritage, or sorry, the World Heritage is made up of these three heritage types: cultural, natural, and we in our first question we had four choices, and there was cultural and natural that we are trying to decide which one Mount Fuji was, which was cultural apparently, and then they have mixture. So this is also kind of mixture. uh, this is human made, and this is non corporeal, I guess. Like, wow. I mean, based on the first question where we had options for cultural, natural, and then some other stuff, and neither of the other ones were um, neither of the other ones were said as mixed. So if it was going to be one of the mixed, I'd say number one. But since they didn't give us that option, I would assume it's got to be either three or four. But three sounds like it could be the same as cultural, if it's like human made. Is there like non corporeal heritage? That sounds just weird, made up. I was going to be either one or four, but let's go with four because we didn't have one in the first question, and I was wrong. It was one. It was the mixture. So why isn't Fujisan a mixture? That seems strange to me. That seems strange. Okay. So what is the value of a World Heritage? It's an interesting question. So it's some sort of outstanding artistic value. It's undeniable everlasting value, I guess. So it's I don't know what the best English words for those are, but it's a large monetary value. I doubt this would be it. Otherwise, something like Tesla and Google and all those big companies would instantly be World Heritages. They might be, as again, I don't actually know. Or they have a shared um, uh, profit value. So the way this is worded, if it was just like more like a shared sort of understanding value, I might choose that. And then this artistic one seems like it would only go into the cultural one. So I would say there's sort of a everlasting, an obvious everlasting value. Number two. Okay, that one makes sense. That question. I don't think we need to study for this one. But again, like one question per minute, and I don't think we'd make it if we, especially if we were 6 years old. Okay. Um, uh, in 1960s Egypt, what happened to the what would this convention, I guess, the World Heritage Convention, what was the ideas that came about there? What caused them, basically? Was it the Arabian Onyx uh, protection movement or the Eiffel Towers deconstruction? Was the Eiffel Tower? Is that even a thing? They deconstructed it or demolished it, or I don't think so. I mean, I've never heard of that happening. The Aswan High Dam being built, or the Giza three large pyramids being found. Ooh, in Egypt, but in 1960s, the pyramids of Giza, was that? That's. I mean, I feel like that was longer ago, but this is level 4. It's in Egypt. 3 pyramids of Giza, maybe. Let's go with number 4. And we are incorrect. It's number 3. It's the Aswan High Dam's development, its construction. So we are absolutely bombing this test right now. So the negative World Heritage, negative, or I guess they don't have World Negative Heritage. What is the correct negative heritage here? So only the nuclear explosions are registered as such a heritage, or um, the what's this called? The what did we say earlier? Um, Convention, the World Heritage Convention. Uh, the World Heritage Convention has not defined this, I guess, or there is a standard for this, or um, the some overworked. Uh, I guess this is some like mining place. Oh man, I don't even know how to go about saying this. I don't know why would like negative heritage. That doesn't sound like a thing. So I don't think it would be 3. I mean, it could technically be like 1 because that's such a big event, but at the same time, I don't think they would define it that way. So I'm gonna go with 2, and it was 2. Um, but we're struggling to even read these bloody questions. So, okay, how many do we have? Just 2 left. So, okay, let's do them. Okay, 2001 April. What country has the most? So, by two air, did I guess this test is from 2001 April, or slightly after. Um, what country holds the most World Heritages? I'm kind of interested to know how many that actually is, because I don't know. I have very little knowledge of this subject, unfortunately. So this is definitely something that I think it might be valuable for us to learn, or at least for me to learn. I don't know how valuable it would be for my son at this point, but I only know like a few. I probably can't even name 10, or I might be able to name 10, but I wouldn't know offhand. Like, is this a World Heritage? Is this not? And that sort of thing. So, what countries? Is it Japan? India, Egypt, the Arabian Republic of Egypt is what it's, I guess they call it. Um, or is it Italy? Ooh, I actually don't think that it's Japan because, I mean, even Mount Fuji wasn't considered one until 2013, according to that first question. The others are all possible. I think India probably has a lot. Egypt probably has a lot. And Italy, that's the I don't know if they'd have nearly as many natural heritage, um, cultural heritage. What was the third one? Or mixed? Yeah, we had the mixed one. So mixed, natural, or cultural. So I would expect Italy has the most cultural ones, probably. Um, I guess Japan would also have quite a few cultural ones, but just because, where did we? So they talked about Egypt a lot earlier. And did they show this up here? This is in Rome, right? Or is it? Shoot, I'm so I would assume that the Colosseums, see, even like the structures in Italy and Greece, I just seeing pictures of them, I wouldn't know offhand. So this is something I personally probably really need to study, which kind of makes me feel like we should take this test, but at the same time, this is more for something for my son than it is for me. I would just be doing it with him rather than for myself. But uh, seeing as how silly I feel trying to just get bumble through these, sort of not bumble fumble through these questions here, is probably of some value for me to do. But I'm gonna go with Italy because it's got Rome, it's got all the Colosseums and everything. But again, any of these, especially like Egypt, I guess, um, would make sense too. So I'm gonna go Italy. Number four. Okay, we were right. Oh man, that was tough, and we have one more here. Uh, so outstanding universal value. This is exactly what they were saying before. So if we had gone on like the actual test, the I think we just passed it. Um, this one here, this number, there's no numbers in the questions. So this here, they had the answer right down at the bottom, the last question, and for whatever reason, they want us to translate this single word, which would be this word here. And based on what we've done so far, it has to be number three. If it just said buildings, I guess it would be like monument, but or even ruins perhaps. But heritage makes the most sense. So yes, that one was easy, but that one wasn't really a World Heritage question, and it's also something that would probably trip up younger kids who haven't got that far in English yet. So that is, even though I'm saying it's easy, it's not something that, my son, I don't think he's ever learned the word heritage. So that would be something to think about there. Okay, so that was that was kind of a disaster. What do you think? Yeah, I think we did pretty bad, actually. I don't know. We'd probably have to pick up some of their books here. So oh, that's a lot of books. And look, if you're doing the level one, you have to get three different books. Each one is like, so put that all together, and you're paying like oh, yeah, 10,000 yen almost, or something or exactly, plus tax, over 10,000 yen. And then all the other levels each cost a little bit less, I guess. But so the questions from previous years and the level four, which is 148 pages. So yeah, if we were going to do this, I guess we'd have to purchase this, read through it, purchase this, read through all that. So looks like it's pretty tough. I don't think we could just automatically take this test and pass it. Honestly, from how badly I did just now, I kind of expect that it would be hard to study for right away and get even the level 4 on this, unless we focused on this particular test more so than any other tests that we have. So if we kind of like gave up on doing most of these other tests, yeah, we could definitely like focus on a single test and probably get it done. But I don't think that it at this point it is as valuable as getting another kanji or English or math test done, for example. Those I would say are ahead of time. So we probably won't put this on our to do soon list anyway. So don't be too hard on me for my ignorance of this, but please let me know what you thought in the comments. Like, subscribe, and if you do think that we should work on this one, let me know why as well. Like, if there's any reason besides I have to learn this stuff because I just don't know nearly enough. If there's any reason besides just that, especially if it's a reason that would help my son particularly. And this, I think it does relate kind of to the international flag tests and all that stuff. But if there's any reason that you can think of that this would be one of the most valuable social studies tests, if you think that, please let me know why, and we'll definitely consider it. So remember, I'll say it again, just because: like, subscribe, level up.